Hello, everybody, and welcome to HTC Invitational. I'm your host, Nimsh, here on Trump's channel. I'm joined by my co-host, Monk. We're having a lot of fun, having a couple of matches, playing round of 16 today. Single elimination, so whoever wins is advancing to tomorrow. We start at 8 a.m. PST again. Whoever is losing is eliminated from the tournament. And up next, it's showtime or RDU time. What time is it, Monk?
It could be anyone's game, but these two players have actually had a history of competing with each other. We've kind of seen a lot of American players in the previous few matches, but it's back to Europe for now, where we have a Romanian player in the form of RDU against the Swedish player Sjow. And these two players, like I said, they've met before in the finals of the Xfinity Hearthstone tournament, the Xfinity Blackrock Mountain tournament, in which Sjow he won his first tournament by defeating RDU in the finals. So definitely a very exciting match there. And if it goes the same way, I think Sjow will be very confident going into the next few matches, because the Xfinity tournament, which was held about 1 or 2 months ago, is the same exact format as the HTC Invitational. So he'll be very familiar, very comfortable with this format. And if he beats RDU in the first match, like, it's just smooth sailing from there.
Oh yeah, but then again, RDU really wants revenge, and he's very happy to get that match, to be able to win versus Sjow. So I'm sure he prepared a lot with his teammates from Nihilum, a life coach, Lothar and Thijs. So RDU is one of those guys, he prepares for everything. He thinks about the lineups a lot, and he's thinking what to bring to those kinds of tournaments. So, and he is one of those guys that we've seen a lot of deck builders today, a lot of wacky, interesting decks. But RDU is a guy who's bringing mostly, he's a fine tuner. He's bringing archetypes or like cookie cutters. He changes maybe a couple of cards to make him a bit different, but he's playing those stable decks. So if he's bringing a standard lineup, Hunter, Warrior, and Warlock, he will be looking good. But then again, like Sjow is a Warrior specialist. The question is, how good is he with Green Patron Warrior? He wasn't excellent with Control.
Yeah, and another question might just be, is Sjow going to bring the Grim Patron Warrior? It's been like so strong these days, but Control Warrior is actually strong as well. We've seen a lot of players like Tides of Time, like who's the other player that brought Control Warrior? Hyped, I believe. They brought Control Warrior just to snipe off their opponent's Grim Patron Warriors. So it's kind of like a take and give scenario there. Warrior is really strong with the addition of a new archetype, but at the same time, it's also strong because it counters its own archetype.
That's a very good question, Kevin, and I don't know what is he going to bring, or I do know now because he is bringing the Green Patron one. So game 1, Sjow versus RDU, Green Patron versus Mage.
Yeah, again, a very interesting lineup for RDU. He's bringing a Paladin as well. We haven't seen Paladin doing too well, at least in this tournament, because we saw Dog just kind of really fail with it, even against Handlock. But it's definitely certainly a viable option. No Fire War Axe. Yeah, you're still waiting?
I'm still waiting for the Dragon Paladin. I want to see Dragon Paladin in this tournament, in this round. I'll be excited to see it. Somebody has to bring it, right? I know this is not a top tier deck, but maybe already you found the right cards to bring a Dragon Paladin. Alright, so this matchup is very good for the Green Patron. No, usually, Mage can snowball, possibly. Snowchugger is an amazing card, especially before the weapons are being played. But overall, Green Patron is favored, even though looking at the situation.
Yeah, I would say it's usually favored, but yeah, like you said, this situation isn't looking good because Sjow is stuck with 2 weapons in his hand that he's not going to be able to use ever because of these 2 Snowchuggers on the board right now. Like, how is Sjow going to deal with 2 Snowchuggers? One is, like, threatening enough.
Yeah, I think he will need to execute one, but he needs to develop the board as well. Can't deny the mech. There is the Blast Mage coming, and if Mage is going to snowball, we've mentioned it before, but this Green Patron Warrior has trouble regaining health. And with that Fireball as well, and even Lothar, like, just look at this curve. Blast Mage next turn, followed by Lothar, followed by maybe Fireball with something else. And right now for Sjow, he can't do much. Like, he will not be able to play Dread Corsair. Loot Hoarder is the play, I think. But what do you do? Like, do you attack into the 2-1, just kill the 2-1 and then play loot hoarder? Try to fight back with minions.
I mean, that seems to be like the only play here, right?
You like cycling Battle Rage is not. Well, you can draw 2 cards, so maybe.
Yeah, you can draw 2 cards. I guess that's okay as well. It really depends on like how desperate you are about those 2 cards.
If he gets a Whirlwind.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
I like it because you really do have to deal with those Snow Chuggers. You have 2 weapons, and if you want to get a chance to win this game, you definitely need to get those weapons in line.
Oh, well, the frothing doesn't take any damage, but
it's still easy dealt with.
Yeah, exactly. And this board, like, how are you going to deal with the board? You can Death Spite and get a free Corsair out, but what good does that really do you?
Not much, and without Execute, you will not be able to deal with this 5-4 yet. And you are still getting to be frozen, and damage is going to come in. Like, even this turn, just kill the Corsair, attack face with the Chugger, stop the weapon, play Lothab, and next turn, like with the Lothab being played, you ensure that nothing like Whirlwind is going to do anything here. At least Sjow is able to play the weapon again to have the Whirlwind effect, but it's not doing anything really. So Taskmaster killing the 5-1, then Warsong and attacking with Taskmaster into Snow Chugger maybe.
Yeah, I think you need to play Warsong just to put another threat in the field that your opponent has to deal with. It's just, it kind of has like a pseudo taunt on it right now.
I think this is the first time I'm seeing Green Patron Warrior struggling so much. It seems like Sjow is basically in molasses and trying to move forward.
Yeah, I think it's just like the 2 Snow Chuggers were too much, and Sjow not drawing a Fiery War Axe in the beginning was also a big contributing factor.
Alright, so just are you playing Mirror Entity to ensure that he's getting 1 more minion? And his situation here is pretty good. He basically has lethal.
Everything is frozen at this point. Emperor Thorzen, that's not going to deal much. If he just plays the Emperor, then that's game over.
He's staring at 10 points of damage. He might have to make... Wait, if he plays Emperor, he's dead because Emperor gets copied by Mirror Entity, so he can't play it. Then he's dead on board.
Oh man, battle raging for 1 card, drawing another weapon.
There's Fire War Axe. He needed the card 6 turns ago.
Well, yeah, 5 or 6 turns ago, he did that card. And to be honest though, even if he had that card, he still would have been frozen for a pretty long time. Because there were not only 1, but 2 Snow Chuggers on the field. And that's certainly going to be it, with both Fireball and Frostbolt in his hand. RDU is going to take game 1, taking at least some revenge for the Xfinity Hearthstone tournament.
Alright, so a bit of revenge for RDU, getting that game number 1, First Blood, securing a win for his Mage. He still has Hunter and Paladin against Sjow's Druid, Warlock, and Warrior. So what do you think about those lineups? RDU, we said that he is a fine tuner. He brought Paladin, even so. Do you think he's going to bring something similar to what we've seen before? Or maybe, can we expect something like a Firebot build, like a Heladin?
I think it's going to be a fairly standard Paladin, actually. There has been like some aggro hunters on ladder recently that I have been seeing popping up. In fact, a lot of them are in like the top 30 of EU Legend, but I don't think it's that popular yet. And RDU, like you said, he's going to be more of a player that brings very fine-tuned decks, but very standard decks at the same time.
All right. So RDU is bringing some cool stuff. Let's see if Sjow can defeat that. Sjow is, again, taking his Warrior versus Hunter, and wow, there is a Worgen. Seems like a more aggro version.
Yeah, but there's also a Defender of Argus, so that's going to be very interesting.
Okay.
I would probably suspect that this is more of a lower curving hybrid hunter. Like, it has the Worgens, but it also has the defender of Argus, and it probably tops out at something like the Lotheb, for instance.
Is there any chance for a Volcanic Drake?
We can keep dreaming, Nimsh. We can keep dreaming.
Oh, come on. We've seen one. And we know that it advanced to tomorrow. So we are going to see more of it. Alright, so are you just setting up boards, getting that Mad Scientist? Pretty good start. He still has Hunter Creeper and Paladin Shredder. And for Sjow, he has that Fire War Axe too. Finally.
Yeah, pretty good opening. And if RDU just... Oh my god, this board is going to get wrecked. Hunter Creeper plus the Leper Gnome. It's going to be like... Fire War Axe plus Whirlwind plus Acolyte of Pain is just going to deal with this board perfectly.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's a good start for you, right? Like, this is the dream opening, kind of. You have the 1-drop, you have the 2-drop, you have a turn 3, and then you have a Pilot Shredder follow-up, so RDU should be happy about that. Sjow is going for...
Oh my god, even Snake Trap.
Okay, this is actually really dangerous now.
Well, Sjow's choice to play the Frothing Berserker is going to pay off in spades because he's actually going to be able to race the Hunter now, which is pretty insane.
Well, actually, there's the Arcane Golem just waiting for that Frothing Berserker, but still, if there would be none... Like, imagine RDU only has an Eagle Hornbow. He'll have to face tank 11 points of damage.
Yeah, but do you Arcane Golem this Frothing Berserker? I mean, you are a Hunter player after all.
It's an 11 free minion. You have to do something with it. Are you going to race now? It's like, hey, let's attack face twice. If there will be a Courser, like imagine a Death's Bite into Dread Courser.
Oh my god.
That would be game. Right there.
Or even something like, maybe even like an Unstable Ghoul.
Yeah, exactly. Playing Lotheb before the Doomsayer pops. Okay, that's not a Doomsayer. That's a guy who really loves his candles. He keeps it on his forehead. You take no candle from the kobold.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. I guess he does have a candle in his head.
Yeah, they normally in game they do have those candles, and they love them. They just keep them, you know, because they live in mines. They need some light. And they do have those candles. That's why they're saying you take no candle.
Yeah, I see. The more you know. Nimsh is teaching me all about this Hearthstone lore.
Yep.
It's gonna be another difficult turn for RDU. He has to ride the line between how do I win this game? Do I just go for face and play like an SM Orking Hunter player? Or do I make some trades here against this very threatening Frothing Berserker?
It's really tough. Like, trades are fine, but then again, you're kind of sacrificing your game plan. And normally your game plan is just to deal as much damage as possible. What do you think about Arcane Golem here instead of Hero Power? Is this really granting him that much damage over time?
I think he's making the call that he has to deal... or he has to like kind of go all in and just hope his opponent doesn't have any answers to this board. Which he does, of course.
Okay, was Dr. Boom at play? Like, I'm trying to assess if
I think
how much damage was on board.
The problem with Dr. Boom is that it just there's too much damage on the board right now. You have to get rid of at least some of it.
Okay. So strangely enough, Dr. Boom, even though it was green, it was not a play. Oh Leok, probably the worst. But it's a beast at least, so he can use kill command if he wants to. Another question is, do you go for face? Because you represent so much damage here.
Yeah, I think you definitely want to clear out the War Song. It's just so threatening right now. And once again, I think Sjow might be in some trouble. I think he's going to be forced to possibly use Grom on this turn.
But there is Druid Corsair. So this is 9 points of damage, and RDU is 3 damage off. We mentioned that before. It's really hard for this warrior to gain health. It has a hero power, but then hero power is not enough. But then RDU is praying to, I don't know to whom, but still. Sjow just needs... Oh, he's okay. He's going for the kill command. I was thinking, is he going YOLO and not killing Grom?
Yeah, this is definitely the correct decision. So there's there's 7 damage on board right now.
So you definitely want a weapon. You want the Dread Courser. That's 3 points of mana. You can play Torsen maybe. So you protect yourself. You hope you're not dead. Let's say Courser is dying to the free 1, 2 damage to face, and what kills you is a kill command top deck. You've seen one. Arcane Golem, Leroy, quick shot into something that deals damage. Abuse the Surgeon is not enough. That's 6 points of damage. And that's not even enough to kill Torisan. So this means with this, Sjow will have 8 points of damage next turn. He needs 4. He has double Battle Rage. This game is so undecided and it's so close. I can't tell who's going to win this. Monk, help me. Tell me, Monk. I have to know.
Yeah, I mean, you can even consider just using Leok to clear off this Dread Corsair. Just making the board as awkward as possible.
Is making your board awkward getting you closer to winning?
It's possible.
Can you elaborate on that? So, like, if you kill the Corsair with the
Leok, then you're pretty much putting your opponent on Whirlwind. Like, he needs either Whirlwind or Unstable Goal to win the game or to survive. This is kind of like the more standard play, though.
All right, so
oh my god, so that's
yeah, that's 2 cards from Battle Rage. Wait, is that it with Dr. Boom? Not really. You will have to hit a lot. Okay, so if you play Dr. Boom and you Whirlwind, you will have bombs hit stuff, and you can just win right there. If you don't win, you still have 3 points of mana, so you can Battle Rage twice. Like,
yeah, or you can Battle Rage once and then armor up once.
Yeah. All right, Monk, this is the moment. The bombs can single-handedly win the game for Sjow.
Oh, terrible bombs.
Single-handedly killed Leok. So now 3 cards. Plus 2 damage, that's 7. Oh, that's not enough. He has to armor up or he's dead. And now RDU has this one chance to draw a 4 attack card. Well, actually 3 attack is fine with hero power. So he has so many outs.
2 attack. Yeah,
2 attack, yeah.
This is
Glaive
Hybrid
Zuka.
Hunter, so fewer outs.
Oh my
Glaive
god,
Zuka.
Glaive Zuka actually makes it. What is happening? Sjow is going to die here. He just had to drink something. RDU is going to take game number 2. 2-0 lead versus Sjow.
Yeah, and it's actually just going to be all up to RDU's Paladin to take the rest of the game. And we know that Paladin is regarded as a weaker class, so it's definitely possible for Sjow just to reverse sweep here, especially because he has Patron Warrior in his lineup, a deck that does tend to do fairly well against Paladin.
So we've seen only Green Patron from Sjow.
Yeah, he's lost with it twice in a row, so
right.
the deck's definitely not performing up to his snuff.
So in the beginning of the match, we asked, can Sjow really play Green Patron? I'm sure he can. He showed an excellent play from the Green Patron. I feel like he just didn't get lucky with it a bit. Like RDU is winning those close matches, but excellent play from both players. We're going to see Green Patron for the first time. Can Sjow win and then show us more of his decks like Warlock and Druid? Or is RDU going to sweep that Green Patron? You know, like, it's possible that RDU was targeting this deck, but I would say, like, the last 2 matchups were bad matchups for RDU, good matchups for Sjow.
Yeah. Oh, it's really interesting. Okay, so I think now we see why Sjow decided to bring Paladin into this lineup. It's because he really wanted to use Divine Favor. Because decks like the Green Patron Warrior and Handlock, which are 2 of the most popular classes, they're really weak to Divine Favor because they tend to have a lot of cards in their hand.
Yeah, that's true. RDU is just bringing the Paladin to abuse the card. So this seems like a face Paladin.
Somewhat. I guess it's mid range, but with some burst, like with the South Sea Deckhand, for instance.
Why do you think it's mid range? Because there is a quartermaster.
Quartermaster. There's silence. There's a consecration. So very mid rangey creatures, I'd say.
So maybe it's more like a hybrid. Like, it's so interesting that now everybody's playing hybrid decks. The metagame has changed completely. Like hybrid hunters, hybrids, druids, kind of. Hybrid paladin, maybe, and combo warrior.
RDU's basically saying now you either have whirlwind or you lose.
Yeah, but fortunately for Sjow, there is a whirlwind. So happily, unfortunately, he doesn't have a flooding, but then still, whirlwind is good. RDU not really phased. He knew that this may happen. It's like a play you are mostly okay with. You play Master for Battle. It's just one card, and you play it with a chance to win the game right there, next turn with Quartermaster. But if there is a counter like Swipe or Whirlwind, you're like, okay, fine. It's like card for card. I still didn't lose that much.
Yeah, after RDU sees the first Whirlwind, he's like, okay, I can kind of go all in with my 1 health creatures. And this is just so annoying.
Yeah, right now there's nothing that Sjow can do to clear this. So, oh, Death Spite is an amazing pickup.
Yeah, because he's been armoring a lot too. Like, there's not that much damage on the board. Even Avenging Wrath, that's really cute.
Yeah, we are seeing some weird cards today, Monk. Like, the metagame is changing right in front of our eyes with Avenging Wrath and Volcanic Drakes, Oozes being played. You know, Guardian getting back to the metagame. I really enjoy the matches that we're watching.
Fortunately for Sjow, though, you can kind of get either a good Grim Patron turn or an Emperor Thor's-in turn, and both of them are pretty impactful. Because he's deciding to attack first. Yeah, I like this Emperor simply because you have both the Warsong Commander plus the Grim Patron in your hand, and you've seen your opponent definitely has had a proclivity to play like a lot of these weaker creatures. So Warsong Commander plus Grim Patron can just end the game completely.
All right, so what do? Like, you silence the Torison, you are happy with your health, draw a couple of cards, which is 3 cards for 3 mana, good deal. It seems like nowadays people are drawing more cards than before, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, with like Divine Favor, with Hand Locks, with Freeze Mages, with Grim Patrons. Like, there's just a lot of card draw in the game. But you know what, why are we talking about card draw? Because Sjow is gonna have a pretty good turn this turn. Summoning so many patrons and getting off a battle rage even. You've seen your opponent use the Divine Favor already, so you're not even that afraid of
drawing cards.
Yeah, you're not afraid of drawing cards even.
Are you afraid of Consecration though? Consecration is pretty good, but still, like, even with Consecration, he will not be able to clear. So Sjow putting some good show here with the patrons, and that's why Green Patron is so good versus Paladin. That there are so many minions that have only 2 attack, like even versus the normal Control Paladin, because this is not a standard build. This is different. This is more aggro-ish oriented, but it's still pretty good. So Consecration doesn't do much here. Creates 1 more dwarf. He will need to kill the Warsong though.
He threatens like a lot of damage here with all these 1/1s, so Sjow will have to find some way to clear them. But fortunately for him, he has double Armor Smiths and 1 mana Fiery War Axe and a free Inner Rage, so it's probably going to be very easy for him to clear.
Is there any merit in trying to draw more cards?
I think you have like all the cards that you need at this point. Like, you could throw down. Okay, no mission.
Maybe you can draw into lethal.
Yeah, I think the only reason he's playing the No Mission Mentor is just he's planned out his turn already, and he knows like, okay, I'm gonna use this and this, probably like the both armor smiths and perhaps a cruel or perhaps the fire war axe. So he has enough mana to just throw the No Mission Mentor out there.
If he would draw Warstone Commander, that was lethal because he will have with Inner Rage, multiply one dwarf, and with
true.
Fireworks that was 20 or 21 or something like that. All right, here's still like a very good situation. He's going to get lots of armor, get outside the range. Double Armor Smith is super annoying. He's seen one Consecration already. I would like using that Inner Rage on the 1-1 as well. Just take no chances. Leper Gnome. Leper Gnome is back in the metagame as well. Almost everybody's playing it now. People finally see the power of being icky.
Yeah. Nimsh, you are certainly icky in some respects because you are, of course, the essence of the Leper Gnome. Leper Nimsh. Forever and always. Yeah, so we're going to see this Paladin deck. Unfortunately, it falls against Grim Patron Warrior, but I think RDU is okay with it because probably the next two decks that Sjow will bring are just like a mid-range Druid and a Handlock. And I kind of feel like this Paladin is going to be favored against both those decks. Against the Druid, it's just like Druid needs to swipe basically in order to clear those minions, and oftentimes Druid might need 2 swipes to get back into the game. Against Handlock, Divine Favor is just going to be amazing against Handlock.
Yeah, I agree. Like against Druid, it really depends on what the Druid is going to draw. This Paladin is probably going to draw well because there are so many small minions that your draw is very standard and very streamlined as well. For Druid, Druid can just choke and not draw into swipes, not draw into rafts or keepers, and just die with big minions in hand. Never to use them. With Handlock, we don't know if it's Handlock or if it's. Do we know if it's Handlock? Like, did you talk to Sjow?
We don't, but Sjow has just like really loved Handlock lately. That if I were someone like researching Sjow, I'd probably say I would say 90% of the time he's gonna play Handlock.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. So Handlock versus this kind of Paladin depends if there is again like if Sjow is going to get the clears in time, if he's able to set up a taunt wall, if there are equalities for RDU. I'm not sure if he's running any equalities. Like we haven't seen any, so maybe he's more investing more into minions and minion trading, expecting Zoo, not a Handlock. So it can go either way still. Like RDU can still lose 0-3 with the Paladin. So Sjow is not out of the tournament, but definitely RDU has an advantage. Just needs 1 win, and Sjow needs 2 wins here. And the game is ready, I believe. Game number 4, RDU versus Sjow, Paladin versus Druid.
So how many wild growths is Sjow going to draw? Is he going to draw into Innervate? Is he going to draw into Swipe? Those are the key questions on my mind right now.
Oh man, I love the deck from RDU, the Hammer of Wrath. We're seeing like a different approach. So many different Paladins. I think like every Paladin we've seen today was different. Everybody's playing something interesting. The Leper Gnome starts, which is pretty good. Like whenever I play an aggro deck and I start with Leper Gnome and they coin Shapeshift, I'm happy about that because they do kind of waste the coin and they still take 3 points of damage from the Leper Gnome.
Yeah, I like the Shapeshift here instead of the Wrath because you know your opponent plays a lot of different 1/1s and you might get more value of the Wrath later. For instance, if he plays a Muster for Battle, you might need a turn where you both Wrath and Hero Power on the same turn. Bit of a slow start for RDU though, so quite unfortunate for him.
Yeah, a lot of spells, no minions. Still, he can create those dudes, but they are going to die to the Shapeshift. So it's fortunate for Sjow because he will have enough time to build up the board, to get the cards he needs to stop the Paladin. No Muster for Battle, really unfortunate. Just dude up every turn for now.
Yeah, Sjow must be thinking, is this the same deck that you played last game? Because it certainly doesn't seem like it.
Is it control now? What is happening? Harrison Jones for Sjow, by the way. Great card versus that Master. And here, RDU is getting it. I think that's the turn. Like, you just play it and hope there is no swipe. Coghammer was also an option to deal with the 4-2.
Yeah, but going to turn 5, I definitely like this play a lot more. It forces your opponent and, like, it kind of pigeonholes your opponent into certain plays. So yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. I think maybe you just Wrath for 1 and Hero Power here.
Yeah, I think you do. Alright, so Sjow is basically saying you don't have the Quartermaster. This is bait.
Blessing of
Oh,
Kings.
blessing.
That's amazing.
Okay, so this is dangerous for Sjow now. Because it's hard to clear this kind of board, and then RDU has all those wacky things like Blessing of Kings, the Cog Hammer. Fortunately for Sjow, he has Keeper of the Grove, so RDU might be tempted to buff his minion, hoping that there is no second silence. But there is a second silence that's going to deal with that. This is a weird turn 5.
Yeah, you have so many like good 5-drops that you could play. Harrison Joes would be good. Druid the Claw. It trades very well with these 3/3s. Anything would be okay here.
Oh wow, Blessing of Kings doing some work here. I like True Silver though, maybe. Okay, Blessing is still fine because you're getting instant value. So you're not waiting for your opponent to silence your minion. You're just like, even if he silences, it's still just a 2/4 on turn 6, and the minion is not dead. It's still a 2/5, so it's not doing much. But Sjow will be forced to do it. Are you in a really good situation here?
I think at this point he's forced to silence this Quartermaster.
He has
to. And then if he does that, I guess you Wrath one of the 3/1s, or rather the 3/1 for 1.
Yeah.
You can't afford to take any extra damage here.
But then next turn he's taking 4 plus 4 from the True Silver.
The other optimistic play is you Wrath the Quartermaster for 1, and you pray to God that you draw into Swipe, and that might be a way you come back to this game.
That's a bit ambitious, but that would be a play if you assume that there's no coming back for you, and that at this point you're with your back to the wall, and you do have to make that crazy risky play, because if you don't get that swipe, you're dead whatever you do. And you actually... Alright, he's going for the Wrath first, which is correct sequencing, because maybe he will draw into something that will change his opinion. But then he's forced to silence anyway. Oh man, so much damage. 5/6, plus 2, 8, 12. This turn at least. And then next turn, you still have a lot of options. Or True Silver and Hammer of Wrath next turn, possibly. Or even Hammer now, it's fine. And then next turn you do have Consecration. So many options for RDU, so much damage there.
I mean, everything is just so good at this point. RDU doesn't even have to worry about running out of cards.
Oh man, looking really bad for Sjow. Savage Roar. He has the combo! Double combo. What can you do here? Can you maybe draw into something good from Harrison Jones, like destroy the weapon? If you play Ancient of Lore and heal, you get up to 15 and you have something to fight Pack?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it looks tough.
Looks just hopeless, and you can even see the hopelessness in Sjow's face. He knows, like, there's probably not a good chance that he's gonna win this game.
So are you 1 turn away, or is lethal right now? This is 5 plus Avenging Wrath. If it goes to face, he has 7 points of damage. Okay, killing that minion. So are you 1 turn away from taking revenge on Sjow for the Xfinity tournament, setting up himself in a very good position to win with his aggro Paladin?
Pretty
I
sick.
said it, man. Aggro Paladin winning a match. We had Murloc, Warlock winning a match. And now we have Aggro Paladin winning a match. What are we going to see next? Miracle Rogue?
That would take us back to the day. Sjow
What
actually isn't completely dead here.
What, he's half dead?
He can Harrison Jones and innervate out of Druid the Claw, and from his perspective, he thinks he's alive.
Oh, okay. Is RDU stressed? Is like in RDU's mind any card that can bring back Sjow to the game. Alright, with Druid of the Claw, that's it, right? So Druid of the Claw dies to, let's say, weapon attack, or even like Consecration and weapon attack, and then there is enough damage. So RDU is going to take this series 3-1 versus Sjow. Sjow eliminated from the tournament, RDU advancing to day 2, to tomorrow. What a match, Monk. What a match.
Yeah, certainly a very exciting one, especially because of this really interesting Paladin deck that RDU brought. I wonder if it's his own home brew or if he got it from someone. RDU generally isn't the type of player to make his own decks, a lot of innovations. As you said, he's more of a fine tuner. So I'm definitely interested after this tournament. I definitely want to play that deck list. I want to definitely look for it and just grind it on ladder a few times just to see how consistent is this deck list, because it definitely seems very good.
Yeah, it seems amazing, and it worked really well. Like it lost, I think it lost once, and then it won. It won the series for him. And in front of us, we have last match. It will be Trump, the mayor of Valley Town, versus Chucky. So TSM versus Team Dignitas, and the winner will be the last person to join our top 8. And as you can see, there is top 8 for tomorrow: Forsen versus Colento, Tides versus Hyped, Tides versus RDU, and Strife Crow versus either Trump or Chucky. So finally at Trump's channel, we're going to see Trump playing, and I'm really excited to see Trump. And what is he going to bring? His opponent Chucky is also a great player, bringing some interesting lineups. So we are going to see who is going to win, who is going to get eliminated after a short break. Stay tuned.